Today's topic. Therefore is judgment now at hand. Give me 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter. We're going to start at verse 1.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 1.
Read.
And he answered me, saying, The Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, and the first verse.
2nd Ezra, chapter...
No. Give me Eleazar. It says, and he answered me, saying, The Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Explain that. Read it again for him.
2nd Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 1. And he answered me, saying, The Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
That means that he made the kingdom just for a few of us, because all of us are not going to make it into the kingdom. He said only 2/3 are going to come out of this country.
Okay, read on.
I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra.
Who's speaking to Ezra right now, brothers? Who's speaking to Ezra right now?
God.
Yes or no? Who is he dealing with right now? Ashar.
Uriel.
How do you know?
I just read in the first chapter.
Huh?
I just read in the first chapter.
You read it in the first chapter? You can't
Yeah.
take me to a scripture?
Not at this moment, sir.
Who can show me? Who can take me to a scripture and to show me who Ezra... That quick? You back? Okay, go ahead.
My fault. It was in chapter 4, verse 1.
Read.
2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. And the angel that sent unto me, whose name was Uriel.
Uriel was the angel that Ezra was dealing with, right? So the angel told him, I would tell thee a similitudes, Ezra. Read.
As when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold whereof earthly vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world.
So it's letting you know, out of the whole earth, right, there's a whole bunch of dirt, right? But very little what? Gold. This is giving you a comparison of those that are chosen. There's many that's here, but very few that are chosen, that are the Most High has set aside for himself, for the kingdom. It says, I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra. As when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Read.
Even so is the course of this present world.
Read on.
There be many created, but few shall be saved.
Many created, but few saved. Give me Matthew's 22. Matthew's the 22nd chapter. I want the 14th verse just to back up what this is saying.
Matthew chapter 22 and verse 14.
Come on.
For many are called, but few are chosen.
Many are called, but few are chosen. I'm going to give the class away now just so ain't nobody confused. If you don't understand this calling that you've been called unto, you are checked out. If you don't understand how dangerous it is for you not to take this calling and election serious, you are checked out. You're playing with death. Okay? Many are called, but few are chosen. Y'all understand what that means, right? There's going to be a whole lot of people that's going to hear this. There's going to be a whole lot of people that's going to say, man, I'm an Israelite. But everybody's not going to make it. Everybody is not going to amount up to what God has said to them. And it's all on them. It's all on you. It's all on me. If you don't take it serious, if you get complacent, if you're comfortable, you're in a dangerous spot. Go back to 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 3.
Read.
There be many created, but few shall be saved.
Few is going to be saved. Few is going to be saved. Y'all, in the world, you heard that, there was only a few Jordans left. You wanted to be the first one to get there. You wanted to get in line. You wanted to try to get yours, right? Few. Forget a Jordan. Forget some shoes. This is the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
So answered I and said, shallow then down, O my soul. Swallow then down, O my soul, understanding and devour wisdom. For thou hast agreed to give ear and art willing to prophesy.
So answered I, who's the I? Ezra, and said, swallow then down, O my soul, understanding and devour wisdom. What is he asking? What is he preparing himself to do? To understand what the Most High God has pardoned upon him, right? Go ahead.
Oh, for thou hast agreed to give ear and art willing to prophesy, for thou hast no longer space than only to live.
For thou hast agreed to give ear and art willing to prophesy, for thou hast no longer space than only to live. Here it is. He's saying you're giving me ear, you're listening, you're going to live forever. It ain't like you going anywhere, right? Go ahead.
Verse 6, O Lord, if thou suffer not thy servant, that we may pray before thee, and thou give us seed unto our heart, and culture to our understanding, that there may come fruit of it. How shall each man live that is corrupt, who beareth the place of a man?
O Lord, if thou suffer not thy servant, that we may pray before thee, and thou give us seed unto our heart, and culture to our understanding, that there may come fruit of it. How shall each man live that is corrupt, who beareth the place of a man? So he's asking the question. Unless the Most High God puts a spirit on us, surely we can't make it. Surely we cannot make it. Ezra has this understanding. Go ahead.
For thou art alone, and we all one workmanship of thine hands, like as thou hast said.
What does verse 7 mean? For thou art alone, and we all one workmanship of thy hands, like thou hast said. What is he saying? Ashar?
We're saying that we are alone as we walk through this truth. Like we only have to worry about our walk and how we're moving according to the scriptures.
Negative. Give me Isaiah 45 and 5. Isaiah 45 and 5. Read that, please.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 5. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me.
Try that again.
Isaiah 45 and verse 5.
No. Ashar, try that. Answer that again. What is verse 7 talking about?
Talking about the Lord, that He's there. There's no other God beside Him.
Exactly. Read that Isaiah 45 and 5 again.
I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me.
All praises. Go. Matter of fact, give me another one. Give me the wisdom of Jesus, chapter 24, verse 24.
Ecclesiasticus, the wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 24 and verse 24.
Read.
Faint not to be strong in the Lord, that he may confirm you. Cleave unto him, for the Lord Almighty is God alone.
Alone. There is no other. There is no one else, right? All right, so drop that. Let's go back. 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter.
2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 7. For thou art alone, and we all one workmanship of thine hands, like as thou hast said. For when the body is fashioned now in the mother's womb, and thou gavest it members, thy creature is preserved in fire and water. And 9 months doth thy workmanship endure thy creature which is created in her. But that which keepeth and is kept shall both be preserved. And when the time cometh, the womb preserved delivereth up the thing that grew in it.
So for when the body is fashioned now in the mother's womb, and now givest it members, meaning when the child is in the mother's womb, right, and it's developing into a human, right? It says, thy creature is preserved in fire and water, and 9 months doth thy workmanship endure thy creature which is created in her. It's a very dangerous place, the womb. Y'all understand that, right? Anything can happen. That's why the mother is like a protector. She's that hedge for that baby to protect that child. That's why we all got to be mindful on how we move, the things that we do, husbands and wives, because the mother is protecting that child that's in her. She's like that hedge, like I said, okay? It says, 9 months doth thy workmanship endure thy creature which is created in her. Read. Verse 9.
Verse 9. But that which keepeth and is kept shall both be preserved. And when the time cometh, the womb preserved delivereth up the thing that grew in it.
The womb preserved delivered up the things that grew in it, right? It's talking about what? How the child lives in the mom for what? Was it 9 months, 10 months full time, whatever the case may be, and then the baby is born. But this is a similitude. It's saying, it's giving us this analogy comparing us to the Father, right? The children to the Father. Read.
For thou hast commanded out of the parts of the body, that is to say, out of the breast, milk to be given, which is the fruit of the breast.
Read.
That the thing which is fashioned may be nourished for a time, till thou dispositest it to thy mercy.
Do what?
Till thou disposest it to thy mercy.
Right. Read on.
Thou broughtest it up with thy righteousness, and nurturest it in thy law.
Go on.
And reformest it with thy judgment.
Now you see how it switched up to let you know what it's really talking about is what? What is it really talking about? Yona? Nursing who up?
Nursing Israel up with the laws.
Exactly. So it's giving us an analogy like a mother with a child nurturing its baby, right? This is how Israel is nurtured. Only difference is that it ain't talking about literal breastfeeding and things of that nature. Matter of fact, this is how we know. Y'all know this precept. Get Isaiah 28. Isaiah 28 and 9.
Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9.
Read.
Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
What is that weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast talking about, brothers? Just say it. The laws and the statutes, and we are able to prove that in 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, right? There's your precept to show that it ain't talking about breast milk, okay? All right, go back.
2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 13.
Read.
And thou shalt mortify it as thy creature, and quicken it as thy work. If therefore thou shalt destroy him which with
So wait a minute, it says, and thou shalt mortify it as thy creature. What does mortify mean? In the back.
Destroy?
Huh?
Kill?
Something different, something stronger. I understand what you're saying, but I want you to bring it to the, right there.
Shalom, shalom. It means to solidify.
Solidify. Okay, when the scripture says mortify your members, therefore you have on earth, what's it telling you to do? Joseph.
Means to cut off your members.
Okay. Right here. What's the actual action? What's going on?
Putting it to death. That's not what you're looking for.
Okay, but in doing that, what are you doing, Ashar?
You stop doing it.
One more person. Yona.
Transforming, repenting yourself.
Transforming is more along the lines, you're strengthening yourself. Just like he strengthens us as his creature, right? It says, read that verse again.
Verse 13. And thou shalt mortify it as thy creature, and quicken it as thy work.
To quicken it means what? Just say it.
Make alive.
To make alive, right? So this is what the Father does to us as we come into this glorious walk. He gives us understanding and it strengthens us. He makes us alive through the words that he speaks unto us, right? Isn't that John 6:63? Read that real quick.
John chapter 6, verse 63.
Read.
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
Come on.
The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
So through his word is what makes us strong. His word is what strengthens us, right? That's what the law, statutes, and commandments do for us. You are not the same man you were before you walked through these doors. You are not the same woman that you were before you walked into these doors. Now you have a different mindset. You've been strengthened, right? Read on.
Verse 14. 2 Ezra 8:14. If therefore thou shalt destroy him which with so great labor was fashioned.
I want y'all to now pay attention to what Ezra's now saying. Because Ezra's pleading for the children of Israel. What y'all are going to see is that this man was different. Some folks wouldn't care about their people. Some people don't care. Here Ezra is he's pleading. Here it is, with his time, the precious time he's been given. He's speaking with the angel, and he's pleading for his people. Out of all the questions, the angel was answering stuff. He wanted to focus and deal with what? The love of his people, trying to see how he can get his people out of this foolishness that they're in right now, this state that we're in, decayed state. Read on.
If therefore thou shalt destroy him which with so great labor was fashioned, it is an easy thing to be ordained by thy commandment, that the thing which was made might be preserved.
Y'all listen, y'all paying attention? If therefore thou shalt destroy him which with so great labor was fashioned, meaning what? There was much work that was put in to create man. Can anybody in here create man? Can you just snap your fingers and create man? No, I ain't talking about you going to deal with a woman. I'm talking about you doing it on your own. Nobody in here is creating life. It's a great, marvelous work that the world today still can't figure out creation. It says, and if therefore thou shalt destroy him, which with so great labor was fashioned, it is an easy thing to be ordained by thy commandment. Don't you think this is common sense? Here it is, the Lord. It took so great work to make man, and God is willing to say, yeah, I'm going to tear this up. You in your mind should be like, oh, snap. Let me do what he says.
Right.
But a dummy, he ain't got it yet. He ain't figured it out. She ain't figured it out yet. It is an easy thing to be ordained to do what he said to do, seeing he's going to destroy something that took so much work to put together. That means there was nothing. In our minds, we trying to comprehend like, man, this was hard. But to him, it was nothing to do that. So let me align myself and do what God said to do. Because I know I could just be a memory. I could be gone. The very existence of me, gone. It says, read.
Now therefore, Lord, I will speak touching man in general. Thou knowest best, but touching thy people, for whose sake I am sorry.
He's being careful in what he says. Ezra ain't stupid. Ezra feared God. Ezra loved the Lord. But he's taking his time to plead for his people and to come to the Lord to try to see how we can get in there. He says, now therefore, Lord, I will speak touching man in general. Thou knowest best, meaning you know better than I know. I'm speaking from my simple mind. But he's speaking, he's saying how he feels. He says, thou knowest best, but touching thy people whose forsake, I'm sorry. He had a genuine care for the state and condition his people were in. I'm venting.
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
And from thine inheritance, for whose cause I mourn, and for Israel, for whom I am heavy.
For whose cause I mourn, and for Israel, for whom I am heavy. Come on.
And for Jacob,
read,
for whose sake I am troubled.
At this point in time, brothers and sisters, the laws were burnt. The history, Babylon came through. They were instructed by the Idumeans, the Edomites, white people, to burn our artifacts, our writings, to etch us out of history, to try to erase us today. And what did they do? They did it. They burnt all the books. They burnt all the writings. They went so far as to say, oh, yeah, well, you're Babylonian. Oh, change his name. Your name's not Daniel. You could be. Sound familiar? They went through great length to try to shut you out, right? And what did we do? Okay. Going along with it. Just like in the time of the Maccabees. Here come the Greekish fashions. We love that. Oh, man, I want to throw the ball. I want to play the ball. Leave the temple, leave the laws of God to go dribble. That's been us. And here it is. Ezra sees the state of his people, and he's tired. He's scared. He loves his people. He's like, Lord, they just stupid. They just dumb. Watch this. It goes deeper. Read.
Verse 17. Therefore will I begin to pray before thee for myself and for them.
Here it is. He's praying for himself and for him. Read.
For I see the falls of us that dwell in the land.
Here it is. He's seen all how it happened. Man, they took the Bible. Now everybody slowly trickled down. Look at us now. Look at us today. We see, I'm talking about y'all have watched people in the truth slowly trickle out. Some of y'all trickling right now. Still straddling the fence. Ezra watched the state of his people decay right before him because the laws of God were nowhere to be found. They were burnt. So the people was just living by however they wanted to live. They felt hopeless. They would start following the gods of the other lands, of the other people. Read.
But I heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come.
What?
But I have heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come.
Meaning what? He understands judgment's coming. We can sit up, lay up, mope all day long. Oh no, look at us, what's going on? Or we could get up off our behinds and go teach our people. We sit back all day long saying the same thing. Man, it's bad out here, man. How we still gangbanging? How we still doing this? How we still doing that? And just say, man, I give up. No, that is not the temperament of a prophet. Prophet knows that prophecy says Israel's going to wake up. Therefore, I'm going to move with prophecy and not with my feelings, right? Read.
Therefore, hear my voice and understand my words, and I shall speak before thee. This is the beginning of the words of Esdras, before he was taken up, and I said.
Hold on. Therefore, hear my voice and understand my words, and I shall speak before thee. He's telling the angel, please listen. Just hear me out. And this happened. He said, everything we're about to read now is what he said before he was taken up. Yeah, Ezra didn't die. For those of you all that didn't know, Ezra did not die. He was found so righteous, guess what? The Lord took him off the earth, just like he took who else? Enoch, who else? Okay, Christ, who? Elijah was taken. We see these examples of these men that were taken up. Why? Because of righteousness. Go ahead.
O Lord, thou that dwellest in everlastingness, which beholdest from above things in the heaven and in the air.
From where?
And in the air.
O Lord, thou that dwellest in everlasting, which beholdest from above things in heaven and in the air. Where does the Lord dwell? He's everywhere. He's omnipresent. But this lets you know that there's other realms. You understand that? Which we ain't touched on that yet, but trust it's going to come out. The Most High dwell. There's other realms outside here that we as men, we can't see nor can we get to, okay? Read on.
Whose throne is inestimable.
Say it again.
Inestimable.
One more time.
Inestimable.
Go ahead.
Whose glory may not be comprehended.
Our minds can't even begin to comprehend it. Come on.
Before whom the host of angels stand with trembling, whose service is conversant in wind and fire.
Why would the angels stand in trembling, y'all? Because they're in order. They understand. They follow. They do what the Lord said because they know he's real. That's our battle right now, is doing what God said because you know he's real. And when you have them simple moments where you start to think maybe not, that's when you mess up. If we all believed that God was looking, we wouldn't do it. If we all truly believe that he sees everything, we would get our thoughts under control. You got your thoughts under control when your mama was in the room. What you think you would do with the Father? Right. Go ahead.
Whose service is conversant in wind and fire.
Come on.
Whose word is true and saying constant. Whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful.
Whose word is true and his saying is constant. What the Most High says, it is what it is. His word does not go out void. Whose service is conversing in the wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful. The angels tremble before the Lord because they are in order. Go ahead.
Whose look drieth up the depths.
His look alone could dry up the depths. Just looking, dry up the oceans. Water gone. Go ahead.
And indignation maketh the mountains to melt away.
Listen, you know what indignation is? What is indignation? Huh? Anger. Anger, just being mad could melt the mountains. This is the God we serve. Go ahead.
Which the truth witnesseth.
Come on.
Oh, hear the prayer of thy servant, and give ear to the petition of thy creature.
Read.
For while I live, I speak, and as so long as I have understanding, I will answer.
Come on.
Oh, look not upon the sins of thy people.
He's saying, oh, please don't look upon the sins of your people. Here it is. He's pleading for Israel, pleading for his nation. Come on.
But on them which serve thee in truth, regarding not the wicked inventions of the heathen.
Watch this. When we went into captivity, was everybody wicked? No. But did we all go into captivity? Oh, no. That's just saying, don't look on all the wicked. Look on those that's trying to do right. He wants, it's almost like he's saying, let's do it in a reverse way. Just based on the ones that's doing right, let everybody show mercy, Lord. Let everybody make it. There's some down here doing right? Watch this. Read on.
Verse 27.
Now, to our minds, we think, man, it does kind of make sense, you know. We went it was some that was righteous that went into slavery because a lot of wicked people, well, you know, maybe the righteous can save the wicked. I don't know. Read.
Regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen.
Don't even regard the wicked inventions of the heathen. Because what if the wicked inventions done to the people? Huh? What if the wicked inventions of the heathen done to God's people?
Microphone.
It sent us into sin.
Straight into sin. This is why we wasn't supposed to follow those nations. The things that they put out their inventions is going to cause you to sin. I don't care what it is. It's only a matter of time if you're following after that, if you ain't led by the Spirit. Go ahead.
But the desire of those that keep thy testimonies in afflictions.
Come on.
Think not upon those that have walked vainly before thee.
What does walking vainly mean? Two people. Go ahead. You.
Walking contrary.
Fake. Fake. Phony. Not real. Not sincere. Listen, you could give the strongest shaloms in here. I'm talking about brothers walk away like, damn, that brother believed. Man, my knuckles hurting. That don't mean nothing because you fake. You phony. You leave up out of here, you a whole nigga. What did we read? Was that, how long ago we read that? Was that Ezekiel? Is it 33? Get that real quick. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a sweet song.
Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 30.
Read that real quick.
Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord.
Go on.
And they come unto thee as the people cometh.
That's happened to some folks right now. You come in here like the people will come, like a regular believer will come, right? Come on.
And they sit before thee as my people.
And they sitting right here listening, got the Bible open, they taking notes, they writing everything down, right?
And they hear thy words, but they will not do them.
They will not what?
Do them.
It never sinks in. They never get it. It's like you ain't figured this out yet, what life is about? How long? You going to sit up here and take notes. You're going to write down the same scripture and never think, you know what? I need to actually do what this said to do. And that's not talking about the easy stuff. That's talking about the hard stuff, the things you battling, you fighting. I don't care what it is. You know what your vice is. That's what you need to attack first, right? That's what you need to be going after. So if you're studying, what should you be reading up on? Being weak to the flesh, falling victim to whatever lust, whatever sin, whatever issue it is, studying up on that. Not asking questions about the end times, what's going to happen here. Oh, who's this such and such? And, okay, so Esau the dragon, you ain't supposed to be worried about that right now. You should be trying to save your life, right? But some people want to drown quietly, secretly to themselves. You drowning. You are on fire, but can't nobody see you because you ain't said nothing. Okay, well, then you're going to drown. And we'll never know. We'll look up. Like I said, I pray I make it there. I'm still fighting. We all, ain't nobody made it yet.
Right.
But you get to the, and you're like, dang, I never knew the brother was doing this. So he never said nothing. He kept it to himself. Now he's one of the ones that you see afar off that we talk about. Remember it says that in, was it Isaiah? Those that didn't do right, and we're going to talk about them when we walk by. We're going to see the stench, the smell.
Carcasses. And
The carcasses and the worms, like, yeah, man. You wanted to die here. Over what? Drunkenness, weed, women, men, dogs, I don't know. Stuff is crazy right now.
Right.
Dogs, cats.
Dogs.
Cats.
For with their mouth they showed much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness.
Their mouth is good. Hey, man, they great class, Deke. Hey, man, appreciate that, man. I needed that. Yep. But won't do a damn thing the Bible said. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, I'm talking about you. Brothers do that. Hey, man, Deke, man, how did you know? If you really felt like, man, this is a miracle, this is miraculous, you would do what? You would take that as a sign from God, right? Man, he talking to me. I know I ain't, man. I know I got secret stuff going on. I know I ain't right. You would take that as a sign and message from God and finally get off your behind and say, you know what? Let me do it. Let me get my stuff together. Let me quit playing. Drop that. Go back.
Oh, you didn't want the next verse?
Sure. I'm not looking at it.
And lo, thou art to them as a very lovely song.
That was the point. That's why I went there.
Of
It says you are to them like a what?
A very lovely song.
Everybody here singing the same thing. Esau is the devil. Nigga, you the devil. You're the devil. You worried about Esau. It sounds real good because you mad at white folks. Some of y'all done learned real quick that this is not the place because you upset with white folks, that this is where you go, let all your frustrations out and you go fulfill your anger and your hatred to white people here and then you're going to become whole here. No, that's not how it works. We don't care. Listen, that's long gone. Yes, we know they the devil, but we focused on you. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You sure? Sisters, y'all show. Okay. Go back.
2nd Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 18.
Come on.
But I have heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come.
He said, I've heard the swiftness of the judge that's to come. This is why it's of urgency for us to get out here and get to our people. Because judgment is coming, right? Read on.
Therefore hear my voice and understand my words, and I shall speak before thee. This is the beginning of the words of Esdras before he was taken up, and I said,
Come on.
O Lord, thou that dwellest in everlastingness, which beholdest from above the things in the heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling, whose service is conversing in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant.
Just jump down to 28.
Yeah, we was. I did jump off.
It's okay. I wanted to hear it again. You was in the spirit.
Verse 28. Think not upon those that have walked vainly before thee.
Here Ezra saying, don't focus on the fake ones. Read.
But remember them, which according to thy will have known thy fear.
But think about the real ones. Don't focus on the fake ones, Lord. What about the real ones? Read.
Let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts.
Let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like what?
Beasts.
Animals. You know what animals do? Animals wake up in the morning, they lick their balls, and they go get something to eat. They walk aimlessly around the earth, not worrying about a damn thing but what? Filling their belly, right? Living like a beast. That was kind of harsh, wasn't it?
That was the truth.
That's the truth. I'm sorry.
It's the truth.
Listen to me. You walk.
People do that.
You
They
wake
get
up.
scratch their balls, and look for something.
This is you licking your balls. You wake up, man, how am I going to get high today? How am I going to please myself today? Who am I going to sleep with today? How am I going to have some pleasure today? You ain't focused on the Lord. You want to have fun. Imagine you the dummy that left the kingdom of heaven to have fun.
Hey, Deke, it's nicer than that fire.
What is?
What you said. You said it's harsh.
Oh,
It's nicer than that fire.
you're right.
Yeah, right.
Listen to me. You got to really think about what we do. What we deem as being, yeah, this is necessary in my life. If it ain't of the Lord, if it ain't moving towards the goal, it's a distraction. Y'all done heard me say that plenty of times. Like living like beasts, not worrying about what God said to do. Not worrying about the mission. You just out here roaming the field, grazing the grass. Read.
But to look upon them that have clearly taught thy law.
Look upon them that have what?
Clearly taught thy law.
Come on.
Take thou no indignation at them which are deemed worse than beasts.
Damn.
But love them that always put their trust in thy
He's
righteousness.
saying, Lord, focus on those that love you, Lord. Again, he's still what? Focusing. He's wanting everybody to make it. He's looking at, we get simple. We start to think, man, well, you got to think about the conditions that we in. You know, hey, I mean, a lot has happened over time, man. Historically, the white man has destroyed us. I mean, God let it happen. You get simple. And now realize that this is the condition of the battle, that we've all been given and commanded to do what God said to do. You just trying to figure that out. Get a true grasp on life. That's what you're trying to do. Some of y'all that got friends, y'all know brothers back in the day. Hell, it might be now. Who knows? Sisters, you may have some friends too. This man ain't grasped the life yet. Like, I'm talking about from a worldly sense. It's like he thinks that waking up every morning and going to go play basketball, that's life. Right? He ain't got no job. He lives with his mama. He borrows money from everybody. But his number one priority is waking up to go throw a ball in a hole or play a video game or do whatever, right? He don't take care of himself. He ain't got his own nothing. Everybody got a friend that they know like that, right? He don't got a grasp on life. Well, news check, y'all. What is our real grasp on life? What is the whole meaning of life, brothers? Huh? Fear God and keep his commandments, according to Ecclesiastes, right? Fear God and keep his commandments. Anything else, you bugging. You bugging. You might be clinically dumb. I mean, let's be for real. You look at your friend like, man, that dude's stupid. Why would you? You want to sit up and be a bum? You want to live with your mama? You feel comfortable begging for bread, begging people for money? And that day, damn, you gave up the kingdom for women? Because you wanted to sleep with this one, that one, this one, that one, this one, that one? It's not like, and it's the same thing over and over. And every man in here knows what I'm talking about. You know it's the same thing over and over. It's the chase, and then it's, you know what I'm saying, the feeling, the orgasmic feeling. And then it's like, oh well, okay, well, on to the next one now. You keep doing the same thing over and over. You're like a rat in a damn, what's that damn spinning?
Hamster in a wheel.
You're like a hamster in a wheel. You do the same thing. Never coming to the understanding of what life is about. Never grasping the whole meaning of your existence on this earth. Keep God's commandments and live. If you don't, you die, dummy. There's a message. But you was focused on something else. Read on.
But love
Where
them.
we at?
2 Ezra chapter 8 and verse 30. Take thou no indignation at them which are deemed worse than beasts, but love them that always put their trust in thy righteousness and glory.
Read.
For we and our fathers do languish of such diseases, but because of us sinners thou shalt be called merciful.
You see how Ezra is naming himself, even though Ezra wasn't wicked. He's humbling himself and putting himself with the rest of his people, just like Moses did. Remember when what the Lord told Moses? He said, man, listen, I'll start over. I'll build a nation out of you. Yep. Lord said, I'm sorry, Moses said, you know what? Just if you don't take them, just kill me too. That's the type of love he had for his people. Read on.
For Verse 31, for we and our fathers do languish of such diseases, but because of us sinners thou shalt be called merciful.
Come on.
For if thou hast a desire to have mercy upon us, thou shalt be called merciful. To us, namely, that have no works of righteousness.
Meaning what? To the ones that knew they wasn't worthy of it. He's saying, Lord, you'll be called merciful by those that what? Ain't worthy of it. Come on.
For the just, which have many good works laid up with thee, shall out of their own deeds receive reward.
Come on.
For what is man, that thou shouldest take displeasure at him?
What is a man? What is a man compared to God? Why, God, you shouldn't even, you shouldn't even take displeasure at him. You way up there. Man is nothing. Read.
And what is a corruptible generation, that thou shouldest be so bitter toward it?
That you should be so bitter towards him. What's a corruptible generation? Remember, he dealt with this generation of vipers. Mm-hmm. He dealt with whole generations of people. This whole generation, this whole, what is it, the 1900s. What the heck is this? Go ahead.
For in truth, there is no man among them that be born, but he that hath dealt wickedly.
Everybody's messed up, he says. Read.
And among the faithful, there is none which have not done amiss.
Everybody done amiss. Everybody done slipped. Come on.
For in this, O Lord, thy righteousness and thy goodness shall be declared, if thou be merciful unto them which have not the confidence of good works.
You see this? If you be merciful of them that don't have the confidence of good works. This is letting you know, you examine yourself and you know. Those that have good works, they have confidence in those works. They know, I ain't no demon. I really believe. I truly love my people. I truly want to make it to the kingdom of heaven. It's not fake when I leave here. You're not going to find me or catch me in the club. You ain't going to catch me drunk as hell at the bar. You're not going to be hearing rumors about, oh, the Israelite dude with the fringes, oh, he messing with this chick, that chick, this chick. Mm-hmm. He came at me too. You ain't going to hear that.
Right.
From a person who what? Is sincere. He ain't worried about that because that's not him. Read.
Then answered he me and said, some things hast thou spoken aright, and according unto thy words it shall be.
Now, wait a minute. Here, now the angel has responded. He says, some things hast thou spoken aright, and according unto thy words it shall be. Because what we just heard Ezra say, some of those things were correct, right? Read on.
For indeed I will not think on the disposition of them which have sinned before death, before judgment, before destruction.
Wait a minute. What is disposition talking about? He says, for indeed I will not think on the disposition of them which have sinned before death, before judgment, before destruction. What is he saying? What is the disposition talking about? Only one. Go ahead, bro.
The disposition is talking about the sinners.
Okay, you're right, but that ain't what I wanted. Go ahead, Yona.
Got to make it plain, brother.
Disposition is the situation you're in.
Huh?
The situation you're in, where the captivity that you're in.
Okay, watch this. Who's ever been to court, gotten sued, or somebody suing somebody, and then before you go to court, what do they have? Like the lawyers and everybody meet before you go to court. What do they do?
It's a deposition.
Okay, what do they do? What happens there?
They go over.
Stand up.
They go over the conditions of the case.
Okay.
Like they provide their proof or evidence of guilt or innocence.
Okay. All this is based on what? Actions, things that have transpired, things that's happened. What happened over here? What happened over there? What took place here? What took place there, right? It says, read that again.
For indeed I will not think on the disposition.
I hope y'all paid attention because this puts things into perspective. I hope y'all are paying attention because this puts your whole life in perspective, bro. Go ahead.
For indeed I will not think on the disposition of them which have sinned before death, before judgment, before destruction.
He says, I'm not going to think on the disposition of them which have sinned before death. What does it say? Judgment and destruction, right? Read on.
But I will rejoice over the disposition of the righteous, and I will remember also their pilgrimage and the salvation and the reward that they shall have.
Listen to me, y'all. In so many words, he says he ain't going to think two shits about your whole life. he is not going to think at all about your whole existence on those that were what? Sinners. He says he's going to rejoice over the lives of what? Read that again.
I will rejoice over the disposition of the righteous, and I will remember also their pilgrimage and the salvation.
Wait, what is pilgrimage talking about, brothers? Pilgrimage. Somebody, anybody.
Their walk.
Their walk. All the tribulation, right? Everything that we've gone through, that you've been through. Like I said, we sit up feeling sorry about our lives, right? We be like, man, I've been through so much. Lord knows. Lord knows. You're right, he knows, but does he care? If you in the midst of sin and you ain't trying to do what God said, listen, he said he cares less about the disposition of your whole life. Read on.
I will also remember their pilgrimage and the salvation and the reward that they shall have.
He's going to give everything that he promised us for doing what he said. Them are the ones he's going to regard, those that keep his commandments and believe on his son. Read.
Like as I have spoken now.
Tell them where you at.
2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 40.
Read.
Like as I have spoken now, so shall it come to pass. For as the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground and planteth many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up. Neither doeth all that is planted take root. Even so is it of them that are sown in the world. They shall not all be saved.
Read on.
I answered then and said.
Wait a minute. What does this remind you of? Let's see who's thinking. Precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Line upon line. Here a little and there a little. In the back. Yeah, you.
Many are called, but few are chosen.
Nope. Malchiah.
The parable of the sower in Mark 4.
Let's get that. He said Mark, but let's get Matthew's. I want the one in Matthew's.
Matthew
13.
chapter 13. And
Just read 18.
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 18.
Again, this puts your whole life, everything that you think is important. This is how you weigh it, and you understand how God sees it. Don't try to use your emotions and what you think. Don't try to make your thoughts hit as his thoughts. His ways are way higher than ours. You got to learn how God sees things. You got that?
Matthew chapter 13, verse 18.
Read.
Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When one heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. But he that receiveth the seed unto stony places, the same is he that heareth the word and anon with joy receiveth it. You want to read the whole thing?
Keep going.
Verse 21, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation and persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. But he that receiveth seed unto the good ground is he that heareth the word, and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some an hundredfold, some 60, some 30.
So here it is. We're reading about, what is it, the three different types of Israelites, right? Four. You have some that fall by the wayside. Give me some more. Some that fell on stony ground.
Some that fell on
good ground. What's the other one?
Thorns and thistles.
Thorn and thistle.
Thorns.
You know what? All these things we would like to, say that it's situational, right? What we're reading over here in 2nd Ezra, go back. He said, verse 41, for as the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground and planteth many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up. Neither doth all that is planted take root. Even so is it of all them that are sown in the world, they shall not all be saved. The reality of it is, that's life. That's exactly the course of this world. What we are watching and what we're witnessing is those that were cast by the wayside, those that fell on good ground, those that fell into thorns, thistles, those that fell on stony grounds, whatever the case. We see it. In our minds, we're like, man, there's something we can do to prevent it. But the truth is that there's going to be people that's who that is. So the question should be, how do you ensure that you're on good ground? Imagine if we was in here, y'all, we all had cards on our heads, right? And could nobody say, this is what your card say. Let's just say your card says, oh, he gonna live. Your card say, oh, he gonna die. Live, die, live, die, live, die. I'm sorry. Come on, please.
We don't want to die.
Your card say live.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
None of us can say anything about whose card is what, right? So you don't know what you are until what? Until what? Until judgment. Right?
Yes.
So what we're all doing is just going along, walking this walk, and then we all gonna find out in the end what we are. We're gonna find out if we were that gold that was tried in fire and have made it through the tribulation and have endured great things. Or if you was burnt the hell up, stuck on stupid, still chasing the JJ. Which one are you? What's going to happen? It's in you. It's in your hands. Everybody always say, man, how do I know? Like, if it's written, it's going to be. You're absolutely right. It's going to be. You're right. That's what's going to be you. If you wasn't the one that was chosen, you're going to come in here, you're going to malfunction, and you're going to be out. Or you're going to malfunction secretly and then die. You're right. What are you going to do about it? All right, go back.
2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 42. I answered then and said, if I have found grace, let me speak.
Now here comes Ezra speaking again. Read.
Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it come not up and receive not thy rain in due season, or if there come too much rain and corrupt it, even so perisheth man also.
Here it is. And again, this is from a sense of man. Here it is. We thinking what our feelings. Man, it's situational. This happened to me. What about this? What about that? Man, the rain. See, I got thrown by a tree, and the tree was doing it. If you was supposed to make it, you're going to make it. Even though you hit the tree and bounced off another leaf and landed on a rock and traveled through some thistles and got blown into some good ground. Damn it, you made it to good ground.
Right.
That's life. Read on.
Even so perisheth man also, which is formed with thy hands, and is called thine own image.
Come on.
Because thou art like unto him, for whose sake thou hast made all things.
Meaning what? What does that mean? Read it again.
Verse 44, even so perisheth man also, which is formed with thy hands.
Formed with your hands.
And is called thine own image, because thou art like unto him.
Read.
For whose sake thou hast made all things, and liken him unto the husbandman's seed.
Come on. What is he telling you? What does he tell you about man? Lemuel.
Telling us that the world was created for our sakes.
And we were made in the image of God.
That as well.
Read on.
Verse 45, be not wroth with us, but spare thy people, and have mercy upon thine own inheritance, for thou art merciful unto thy creature.
Unto thy creature. You made us. He's trying to appeal, right? Watch this. Read.
Then answered he me.
Come on.
And said, things present are for the present, and things to come for such as be to come.
Things present are for the present, and things to come for such as to come. What is he telling him? Laha.
Things gonna happen in their time.
Okay. What else? Things are going to happen in their time. It says, read that again.
Then answered he me and said, things present are for the present, and things to come for such as be to come.
What is he telling them? Ashar.
That things that are happening now, they're happening now, versus things that are supposed to happen in the future, they're going to happen. at that time.
Everything's going to happen the way it's going to happen. Don't bother trying to wrap your brain around it because everything is already written. That which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. He told you he created this earth for many, but the world to come for few. It's destined. He already knows who's going to do what they do. You're the one that's trying to figure it out. We the one, listen, we messed up. We put ourselves in this predicament. Even back to the beginning, when we all agreed to come into this world. We all agreed, and we got here, we messed up, and now we fighting like hell to get back. And everybody ain't going to make it. That's just what it is. Read.
For thou comest far short that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I.
Listen to me. Ezra's here pleading like he cares more about the people than the Lord does. Y'all need to meditate on this because from Ezra's standpoint, us as man, we want to say, man, it would be nice. You know, everybody ain't wicked, man. If we could all be there, we could all make it. Man, if my mama, man, if my daddy, man, if my grandma could. When you don't understand, it's not for everybody. It's not going to be. You had better worry about you. Focusing on you, worrying about you is enough in your life alone to deal with, to try to fix. Let alone those that don't want to do right. Read on.
But I have, verse 47, for thou comest far short that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I.
Come on.
But I have oft times drawn nigh unto thee.
I have oft times drawn nigh unto who?
Unto thee.
Unto you, Ezra, read.
And unto it.
Come on.
But
meaning what? Unto you and unto it. What is the it? The righteous. Read.
But never to the unrighteous.
But what?
Never to the unrighteous.
What does that mean, but never to the unrighteous? Can y'all read this? Are y'all looking at what I'm looking? But never unto the unrighteous. What is he saying? Go ahead.
He don't deal with sinners.
Watch this. Noah, give me Sirach 12:6. Palu, give me Proverbs 8:17. Yawasop, give me Isaiah 1:15. Abiyah, give me John 9:31. Lahab, give me Jeremiah 11:13. Azariah, give me Proverbs 1:28. Lemuel, give me Psalm 7:11. Let's go.
Sirach chapter 12 and verse 6.
Read.
For the Most High hated sinners.
He does what?
Hated sinners.
He hates sinners.
And will repay vengeance upon the ungodly.
Proverbs 8:17, please.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 17.
Read.
I love them that love me. And those that seek me early shall find me.
Love is conditional with God. Never the unrighteous. Never the unrighteous. Give me Isaiah 1:15.
And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you.
God will hide his eyes from you. He hides his eyes from who? Sinners. Read it from the top. Read it. Tell them where you at.
Isaiah 1:15.
Read.
And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. And when ye make many prayers, I will not hear you.
Is this the God that we've been taught that loves us unconditionally in the world? There's conditions with God. Stop listening to that nonsense you heard out there. It's not what God said. Condition your thoughts and your mind to what the Lord said, because it's all conditional. He says, I love them that love me. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to hear your prayers if you don't what? If you ain't doing right. Is there more?
Your hands are full of blood.
Your hands are full of blood. What meaning what? Sin. Give me John 9:31. Same thing.
John chapter 9, verse 31.
Read.
Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
Is this the New Testament?
The New Testament.
Y'all thought he changed up? You thought he switched up, right? Never the unrighteous. Never the unrighteousness. He's nigh to what? To those that do what he says, but never the unrighteous. Drop that. Give me Jeremiah 11. Read verse 13 and 14.
Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 13.
Read.
For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal.
Following unto what? Other gods. That's what we was doing. Read.
Therefore, pray not thou for this people.
Do what?
Pray not thou for this people.
Is this, wait a minute, is this the love of Jesus that we've always been told? Or is this just how it is? Come on.
Neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble.
All right, drop that. Give me, what was the next one I said? Psalm 7? No. Proverbs 1. That's what I said. Proverbs 1:28.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 28.
Come on.
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
Come on.
For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own ways.
Somebody in a simple mind might think, well, God's petty. He holds on to that stuff? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he ain't going to forget if you're unrighteous. This is not talking about the righteous, the person that's actually in the fight, the person that's actually trying. This ain't talking about this. Scripture says the righteous fall how many times? And what do? Some of y'all are on your ass right now and think you the righteous. You ain't the righteous. You're fake. You're not real. You're phony. Read on.
Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way.
That's why this stuff is happening to you. This is why you're going through what you're going through. And you thinking, man, I'm catching hell. You're damn right you catching it. You're going to feel it in a little while if you don't wake up. We cannot be feigning this thing, y'all. This is not what we've been called to. What's the last one I called for? Psalm 7?
The book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 11.
Read.
God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
How many days of the week?
Every day.
Some days.
Every day.
Sometimes.
Every day.
Every day. It don't end. Because right after one day ends, there's another day. Yeah, he's still pissed at you. What do you have to do to get into the good graces of the Lord? Repent and seek ye the kingdom, right? Well, what the heck are you doing? What are you waiting on? That is the last, I don't even want to say, that's not a person. God is the last one you want to be pissed at you. The last one. Any of y'all could be mad at me. You can hate my guts. At the end of the day,
Right.
I just want to make sure I'm right with the Lord. That got to be your thought process, how you see things. And that happens every day when you walk out of here, when you by yourself, when it's just you. You're constantly saying, you know what, let me make sure I'm doing right. Because this ain't for them. This ain't for people. This is for me. I want to make it. Right? Okay, give me that. Therefore, give me Romans, the 8th chapter, AZ. Romans 8 and 35. No time for games. No time for nonsense. It's always, death is always imminent. Y'all understand me? Or imminent. I'm sorry, not intimate. Imminent. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 8, verse 35.
Read.
Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
Who, brothers? Who? Who is going to separate us from the love of Christ? We saying it, but it could be you. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Come on.
Shall tribulation or distress
Come on.
or persecution
Read.
or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long and are accounted as sheep for the slaughter.
Some folks, like I said, it amazes me that you like, man, yeah, I might have been one of them prophets back then. Really? Are you living up to that? You can't even say that right now. To even think that, you got to be like, man, I got to get my life together. Then you might be able to say, man, like so-and-so got his stuff right. I did the same thing. That ain't your focus right now because you ain't out here fighting. Nothing is supposed to take you from the love of the Most High. Nothing's supposed to separate you. But yet and still, you've allowed things. And you're not catching hell like the prophets. Everything we just read was talking about what? Tribulations, outside sources, persecution coming against those that believe, right? Well, what the heck is going on with you right now? Is that what you feel you facing? Is that what the battle is? Man, I can't even read my Bible at home no more, man. I got the police watching it, looking through the window. That ain't you. Man, I can't even wear my fringes out when I go to the store and in the house, man. They're gonna catch me. That ain't you. Our forefathers died trying to keep the Sabbath day, y'all. Yeah. They were secretly coming together on the Sabbath. Yet and still, we got folks that will that drag their behinds in here like it don't matter. And run out when it's over. Right. Or just don't come, won't come. Right. Whatever, not a big deal. Are y'all for real? Is this our love? This is what our joy is? And I ain't talking about y'all that got jobs, that got stuff going on. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the folks that's out here playing around. Right. When you know this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is what we're supposed to be focused on. Read.
Verse 37. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Jesus Christ our Lord.
This is giving your life for this gospel. This is loving your life unto death, loving Christ unto death, doing everything possible to make the kingdom, not playing around like this ain't your chief joy. This is, like I said, this is a part-time thing for some, I guess. This is just, I know I'm Israel, Yeah. Go back to 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 47.
Come on.
For thou comest far short, that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I. But I oftentimes draw nigh unto thee and unto it, but never to the righteous.
Never to the righteous. Come on.
Never to the unrighteous. Excuse me. In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High.
In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High. He's talking about Ezra right now. You are marvelous. Just seeing how he cares for his people so much. Read.
In that thou hast humbled thyself, as it becometh thee.
He's humbled himself. How did he humble himself? How did he humble himself, Ashar?
Whenever he was talking about everybody, he included himself.
Exactly. Read on.
In this thou art marvelous before the Most High. In that thou hast humbled thyself, as it becometh thee.
Come on.
And hast not judged thyself worthy to be much more glorified among the righteous.
Meaning what? He didn't look at himself like, oh, I'm this, I'm the grand poobah, I'm better than everybody. Even though he was. The scripture says the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, right? But he numbered himself amongst them. Why? Because he loves his people. And we don't look at it like I said earlier, how some folks separately, we're one. We are all one in this thing, right? Mm-hmm. Read on.
For many great mysteries shall be done to them. Many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world.
Miseries are coming. He's telling them it's going to get bad. Read.
Because they have walked in great pride.
Walked in great pride. Read.
But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee.
Read that again.
But understand thou for thyself.
Again.
Understand thou for thyself.
Again.
But understand thou for thyself.
Understand thou for thyself. Read.
And seek out the glory for such as be like thee.
You better focus on the righteous. That's what he's telling him. You better understand for yourself and focus on the righteous. That's why we're not playing with nobody who ain't trying to do this. We're not forcing nobody. We ain't turning nobody's arms. Whether it be you, your kids, your mama, my children, anybody. You have to focus on those that are going to do what God says to do. That's the whole mission, to seek out the righteous. Now that you're awake, what did he tell Peter? Strengthen your brethren, right? Go ahead.
For unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted. The time is come. The time to come is prepared. plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom.
Come on.
The root of evil is sealed up from you. Wickedness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten.
Because of what? Because he made it. He came and lived a righteous life and was found so righteous that the Lord came down and took him. He's not the first one. Took him. Read.
Sorrows are past, and in the end it showed the treasure of immortality.
Come on.
And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish.
It says, don't ask no more questions about them that's going to die. That should make a wicked person feel extremely insignificant. I'm just going to tell y'all straight. To the point to where you're like, I want to be significant. I want to matter. You stand in the middle of the road with a Black Lives Matter sign all day long. Well, damn it, make it matter. Right? It says, the root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and the end is showed the treasure of immortality. And therefore, ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish, that die. Come on.
For when they had taken liberty,
when they had opportunity,
they despised the Most High.
Here it is. You had all the time on earth. You were born. You learned to read, write, comprehend. Somebody came to you and said, hey, man, let's do what God said to do. And in your simple mind, you either decided to do it or decided not to. We all made this decision. Everyone makes this decision. He said, don't be concerned with them that perisheth. How are you going to stop somebody from jumping off a building?
Right.
Matter of fact, imagine stopping a middle linebacker, name a football player, strong. Lawrence Taylor, he is destined. He said, I'm jumping off this building. I'm running full force off this building. You going to jump in front of him? You going to hang on, drag? You going to try to tackle him and hang on for dear life? He going to kill you too. Read on.
Thought scorn of his law and forsook his ways.
Read it from the top.
From when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High. Thought scorn of his law and forsook his counsel.
We see people right now that think scorn of his law. Man, that's stupid. Why are we doing this? Why can't we just... listen, in our mind, we're supposed to say, you know what? I want to stay so far from evil, there's nothing I can't give up. To hell with a damn birthday, baby shower, damn New Year's, whatever. I don't need none of it. What is it? What does it do? What's it for? I'm trying to make it to the kingdom. So if anything would even appear to be evil, I don't want to be near it. I'm going to leave it alone, right? Read.
Moreover, they have trodden down his righteousness.
They did what?
Trodden down his righteous.
They've trodden down the righteous. How do they trodden down the righteous? Trodden down. Go ahead.
They didn't listen to and they killed his righteous.
They kill his prophets. He sent his servants, the prophets, and what do? They kill them. They come against them. This is why y'all constantly see everybody speaking against somebody who's doing what God said to do. And it's going to be you. You're going to get spoken against. Here it is. All we talking about is let's keep God's commandments and believe in Jesus. You would think we said, hey, man, we shoot niggas at 10:30 tonight. We're going to smoke. We're going to smoke some coke at 12:30, and we all going to murder some more people in the morning. Ain't nobody teaching that nonsense. Ain't nobody telling you to drink the Kool-Aid. Everybody here who's broken bread has lived, right? Ain't no cyanide in the. Let me stop talking before somebody.
They gonna take that right now.
Deacon.
Clip it.
That's how we gonna get them.
Yeah, they didn't pause that right there. It's over.
Got him.
But they had many people who just left out of here, just walked out of here.
Yeah. Just left like, hey, it
Nobody held them back. Nobody jumped on their back.
Nope. Go ahead.
Verse 58. And said in their heart, there is no God. Yea, and that knowing they must die.
How in your simple, pathetic mind do you say there's no God, but then you know you got to die? Like, how do you come to that point, man, there ain't no God? But you know you got to die. Like, that don't make no sense to me. You know that you was born, that somehow you made it here. You're here now. You looking, you smelling, you feeling, you talking to people. Somebody did this. Hey, but you gonna come to the conclusion, man, ain't no God. This don't mean nothing. And then you know you got to die. Yeah, you're right. You got to die. You got to die. Go ahead.
For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them.
For as the things aforesaid shall receive you. What are those things he said? For, what is it? Verse 52. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared, plenteous is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. That's what's waiting for you, right? But for the wicked, it says, read that again.
So thirst and pain are prepared for them.
Thirst and pain. Thirst and pain. Y'all remember that parable of Lazarus? We said if you could just get some water and just put a little dabble on my, just the tip of your finger, let it drip in my mouth so I could just have a millisecond of relief. Thirst and pain is laid up for those that won't do what God said to do. Read.
For it was not his will that man should come to naught, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them.
They have done what?
Defiled the name of him that made them.
How do we defile the name of him that made us, y'all? So you done went your own way to do your own thing. This is what forward thinking is, forward thoughts. You done decided to veer off the plan and do it how you want to do. Some of y'all do that all the time. Y'all play, what's that game, Grand Theft Auto? You ain't stick to the mission. You out here running around aimlessly, kicking in doors. Huh? Where Amakai at? No, I ain't gonna say that. Y'all crazy. Yashar, you too. Some of y'all crazy. You done veered off. Huh?
I'll be watching my son play Fortnite. I'm like, what are you doing? He's just running around. What is this?
I would say Fortnite is a little more focused on, because this just
I don't
don't
know.
die. That's what it is. Just don't die. You just trying to live.
Okay.
Anyways, stop it. It took me to Fortnite.
Okay. I
That's
don't
my
know.
fault. I get the Grand Theft Auto. All right, my bad. It says, read that again.
Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doing.
Come on.
Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman.
Damn. Read on.
Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land.
He poured fury upon us for the blood we had shed in the land. That blood goes back to the same blood in Isaiah. What was that, 1? Yeah, 1:15, was that? Blood all on your hands, right? Go ahead. Sin.
And for the idols wherewith they had polluted it.
Come on, meaning what? We follow after other gods. How simple are we? Here it is. We got the true God. We have the creator. But we want to go after mystical imaginations, things that people done came up with. Go ahead.
And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries.
Read.
According to their...
What scripture is that? What would you precept with this right here? And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. What precept would you all use? If everybody's hand ain't up, I'm going. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. What would you use? Isaac.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 64.
64, thank you. Read on.
I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. According to their way and according to their doings, I judged them.
According to their way and their doings. According to their doings, God judged us. Read.
And when they entered into the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name.
Wait a minute. Now it says, now that we were judged and we were sent out of the land, we went amongst the other heathen, right? And then it says we profaned his holy name. Now somebody might say that this is the Lashawan Quadash. This is the holy, the tetragrammaton. Here it is. We talk about how, you know what? Man, y'all embarrassing me. Y'all got me looking all types of crazy out here. Why? Because we are one, right? We are one people. That's the same thing with the Lord. We are one with the Lord, right? Right?
Right.
Therefore, his name was profaned. Is there more? You want to read off? Yeah, verse 21.
Verse 21. But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God,
Come on.
I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel,
Come on.
but for my holy name's sake,
Read.
which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their sights.
Come on.
For I will take you from
Y'all
among
see
the
that?
heathen.
We're going to be sanctified. The Lord's going to be sanctified before all of them. They're going to realize, they're going to look on us and say, dang, God is with them. Y'all understand how heavy that is? It's going to happen right before their face. Read that again.
And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them.
Come on.
And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord God.
Read.
When I shall be sanctified in you,
The Lord's going to be sanctified in us.
before their eyes.
We're going to change, y'all. We're going to change. But guess what? It had to be by divine intervention. And we read about how we were going to make this change, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, do you? Everybody say, yeah, thank you for being honest. There's what. Give it up for the honest brother real quick. Finally, somebody told the truth. I have no idea what you're talking about. No. Ashar. Let's see if Ashar was telling the truth, because he said, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's scrambling right now.
Yeah, it's where we read about how we were going to be mortified.
Dang,
In
this,
the second Ezra 8.
you might not have on a garment, but you still got the spirit of wisdom on you, bro. You are all right. This is us being strengthened. This is us coming back, right? And he's going to do it through his son, the Christ. This is why Christ is so essential. We could not do it. This trump card was played way back in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. What does it say? He shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Yeah.
Way back in Genesis 3rd chapter, the trump card was already laid out. The Lord just waited until he played it. This is how we going to come back, because the damn show ain't going to be us doing it. All right, drop that. Go back. You know what? Let's finish this. Where you at?
Verse 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries.
Come on.
And will bring you into your own land.
Prophecy, read.
Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you.
Read.
And ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all of your idols will I cleanse you.
Washing of water by the word. This is us accepting Christ and coming back to the Most High. Come on.
A new heart also will I give you.
Read.
And a new spirit will I put within you.
Come on.
And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh. And I will give you an heart of flesh.
Come on.
And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them.
Read.
And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God.
This is us coming back through Christ, as prophesied. We read the same thing in Jeremiah. Read the same thing in Hebrews, the 8th chapter. This is now our conscience. The Son of God died. Now, everybody in here care, right? So we gotta walk right. Somebody died so that we can make it. This is the trump card. So here it is. All right, let's just say how it is. The devil's been cheated, y'all. Christ is the joker. All you got to do is play it. Just accept the card and you in there. And now move like you're supposed to move. All your sins will be blotted out in that day. The righteous man's going to fall 7 times and get right back up. You're going to go through this tribulation, this fire, these flames. It's going to suck. But at least you made it. Y'all understand? All right, let's finish 2 Ezra chapter 8.
2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 59.
Read.
For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them.
For them that's not going to accept this trump card, the joker, Christ.
For
they're going to say, man, I ain't trying to do this. It's too much. Since I don't want to do all this. What you mean I gotta wear a dress, fringes. I gotta be a woman. I don't want to be a woman. Man, I don't want to be a man. I want to play. I want to go play. Go ahead.
For it was not his will that men should come to naught, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made him.
Come on.
Made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them.
How did he prepare life for us? Sending his son. He prepared the way. It's always been the plan for us to make it. We just gotta accept it. Read.
And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answered I and said,
These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Who are those few that are like Esdras? Esdras was different. You got different spirits. This is why, like I said again, we have to move like we are those spirits. Not saying that you are, but dang it, see yourself in that light. Therefore, mortify your members that you have on earth. Conquer that demon. Beat that devil up in you. I gotta say it so they understand. So you don't die. And don't only just be I just want to make it. Be a pivotal point in this truth. A key player. Was Peter, James, John, were these regular people? They didn't come down here I just want to make it. No, they was like, man, let me get my lick in. Swing, damn it. Some of y'all is getting beat up. And I've been there. You got to get back up. You got to get back up. Read on.
These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee.
Read.
Then answered I and said, Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed me?
He said, you didn't show me a whole lot. But when these things is going to happen, you haven't shown me yet. So then it goes into chapter 9. So that was 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, all right? All praise be to the Most High.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.